Friends, I'm gonna today show you how you can make cupcakes out of chickpeas flour. Chickpeas flour is also called besan. And why to make cupcakes out of chickpeas flour? Why not white flour? Actually, chickpeas are famous for being rich in protein, as well as it has a lot of fiber, and its glycemic index is much lower than white flour, so it is considered very healthy and it's very good breakfast. So I'm gonna show you how to make medium sized chickpeas flour cupcakes, and we're gonna make about 6 to 8 cupcakes today. For that you need a cup of besan, or also called chickpeas flour, 3 eggs, baking powder, 3 Splenda. We're gonna try to make it sugar free, very little sugar. And also we need one spoon of all-purpose flour just to stick them together, and some cooking spray so that the cupcake doesn't stick to the paper. And also we need about half a teaspoon of sugar to beat the egg. So these are all the ingredients. And for topping, I'm gonna use this protein bar. You could put anything, but I'm gonna use protein bar on top to give it some good texture as well as taste. So now I'm gonna put 1 cup of this chickpeas flour. First, all the dry ingredient, 1 cup of chickpeas flour. So this is 1 cup. And then I'm gonna put this 3 Splenda. Also, I don't want to make it too sweet, so 3 packets of Splenda in there. And also I'm gonna put just a spoon or one tablespoon of white flour in there, just to make it as golden. So I put 1 tablespoon, you can see. Half a teaspoon of baking powder. Half a teaspoon of baking powder in that dry ingredient mixture. So now I need to separate egg. So it's very important to separate egg into yellow and white part, because if you beat yellow part has all the protein and fat, right? So if it mixes with the white part, then when you beat white part, it won't form nicely. So it's very important to mix, to separate white part and yellow part. So yellow part you mix it together with your chickpeas flour, and then white part you need to beat it separately. Okay, so now I'm gonna separate white part and yellow part. So how you do is you separate like that. So now this yellow you can put it to the dry ingredient. But make sure that it doesn't break. If your egg yolk falls into white part, then that's the big problem, because the white part will not form properly if the fatty content gets in there. Third egg. Okay, 3rd egg in there. So, and another important thing is that you need to first beat this dry part together with egg yolk and some milk. I forgot to mention, for liquid part I'm going to use some milk. So you need to beat this first, and then you need to beat the white part later and make foam out of it. So then you fold it together. You cannot beat this first and then beat it second. You cannot do that, because by the time you beat this, the foam will be gone already. Okay, and for foaming, you need to have about half a teaspoon of sugar in the egg white. So I can already add that. Let it sit there a little bit, and I'm gonna beat the dry part first. For cupcake, I'm just gonna use this simple my toaster oven. I'm not gonna use my big oven. So I'm just gonna put it in bake and 400 degrees, and I'm gonna preheat the oven. So don't worry about timer. I've just put it 10 minutes. So I'm gonna beat the dry part first, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna slowly start beating. I'm gonna add, now I'm gonna add a little bit milk to hold this together. So I'm just gonna add very little milk. Don't add too much milk at the same time, just add little by little. Now it's done. See, it's mixed really well. So this is done. Let's prepare the baking stuff. So I'll put this cupcake paper. I'm gonna have 2 extra outside, because usually it's enough for 8. So I'm gonna put it, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna spray a little bit cooking spray, so it doesn't stick too much to the paper. You need to, before you start beating the egg, you need to thoroughly clean your beater, because if this gets into the egg white part, it will not foam correctly. So it's really important you wash this thoroughly before you start beating the egg. Now I'm ready to beat the egg, and remember I put half a teaspoon of sugar in the egg to make it foam correctly. Now, as you can see, that egg white has really foamed really well. So I think it's time to stop. As you can see that this has foamed really well. So now quickly, this needs to happen really quickly, because otherwise you will lose all the bubbles. So what you do is you need to fold in egg white to your other cake mix. So you fold in this cake mix and your egg white really well, and this needs to happen quickly. You cannot really wait a long time to do this. Put it in the cupcake holder. As you can see, it's a little bit too much, so that's why I have this two extra things. So I'm just gonna put some pieces of this chocolate protein bars cut on it. It gives nice texture as well as taste to the cupcake. So it's about 15 to 20 minutes, so I'm just gonna insert this. So it's 400 degrees, about 15 to 20 minutes, so I'm just gonna insert this into the toaster oven, and it goes in there. And so I have these 2 extra also, so that also goes in there. So we'll leave it alone for about 15 to 20 minutes, and the cupcake will be ready in 15 to 20 minutes. So it has been about 15-16 minutes, and I think it should be done. So let's check. So you just take a toothpick and just see if, yeah, so it's perfectly cooked. And you can see that the protein bar we put it on top actually gave a really nice color as well as texture, and it tastes really good. So here is the cupcake ready to eat, and it's really healthy because it's all chickpeas flour and made with Splenda, and you can see that the texture is really good. That little protein bar pieces we added on top has come really good, and it tastes really good. All right.